solid 60 minutes.
So I just wanna make sure that as many people as possible take away something valuable from the journey that we're going to talk about. And besides that, if I get to sing a song or two, then I would love for them to just enjoy it. I'm pretty sure everybody's having some sort of a stress, and I act as I've learned over time doing this music thing that I have some sort of a responsibility almost to keep people on their toes, have them get off their stress zone and sort of come into the world of music just to um, enjoy a few minutes of entertainment. And I get to do that for them, and that's become a big responsibility and a privilege as well. So I just hope that they get to get that experience today. Yeah, can't hear you.
Still.
Now we can.
Okay. Is the audio clear? Audio better now or before?
It's the same. It's good.
Awesome. Siddharth, so let's just start with. So introduction is something that you get to talk about in every single, let's say, discussion, conversation, interview, anything, whatever you call it. But here,
Yeah.
start with a song. Let's start with a small, let's say, a trial song. What do you say? You want to start?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. So before Siddharth starts, Siddharth Bendi is one of those amazing people that I've met. Is a very kind person, and I must say that. So Siddharth has been someone I know from a very long time, from like a long time. And all right, we have 73 people right now with us. And so beside even stage, we have a no mic section, right? So I want you to be active. Can I get a yes if you're here with me in the no mic section? Can I get a yes, ladies and gentlemen? Just one yes. I just want to see yes. Thanks, Arpit. I just want you. More. Yeah. Guys, fast. We did it super fast. Okay. All right. 76 people with us, and let's get started. Okay. So before Siddharth starts, if you want this to be more interactive, or let's say you want to listen more of his songs, can I get a yes? All right, not yes. Can I get a number 1 in the chat in the no mic section? Go for it, guys. Just number 1. Just press on it. Yeah. All right. This is what I'm looking for. So this is pretty good. Pretty good. All right, Siddharth, the stage is yours, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, Siddharth, the stage is yours. Go for it.
Thank you. It is also theirs, by the way. It's everybody's. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, pretty good.
Okay, can you hear the guitar?
Siddharth, play the guitar. Were you playing it?
Yes. Is it not audible?
So, no, it's not audible. Are you? So there's something called as noise suppression, just above the place where you unmute yourself. So you need to just turn it off.
Okay.
Yeah, because it cancels all the background music sound.
Got it. Is it better now?
Beautiful.
Okay, and my voice?
It is clear. Can you move the mic a little towards the guitar?
Towards the guitar? Okay, cool.
Great.
Is that better?
Are you sure? Okay, just to check, the noise suppression is turned off, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, I understand if it's not too loud. The guitar is, I'm only using one mic, so that's going to be somewhat of an issue.
No problem. Let's get started.
Okay, cool. I haven't thought about what I'm going to perform. I will do some of my songs that I've written in a bit. Maybe I'll just start with a very quick cover of something that everybody knows. Hope you enjoy. It's like strawberry on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. Now I'm berry and the summer feeling is so wonderful and warm. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go down, and I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could ever go down. Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar strawberry on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. Oh, I want your belly and the summer feeling. It's so wonderful and long. Breathe me in, breathe me out. And I don't know if I could ever go down. And I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I could ever go down. Watermelon sugar high, 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 watermelon sugar high. I hope the audio is fine though. That was Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. Hope you enjoyed it. Is Chandan here? I'm not sure. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Okay, it looks like we lost him, or I don't know what the scene is. Oh man, the voice was not clear. I'm sorry about that. All right, cool. Notes taken. Network issue on my side. Oh, not on my side, on Rohan's side. Maybe. Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We have lost Chandan. How about this? Let me just do a song anyway until he's back. Maybe.
Siddharth,
Oh,
I
cool.
hope I'm
There he is.
pretty clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. So, sorry for the discrepancy, guys. So now, Siddharth,
Yes.
you playing song now? You gonna play it?
No. We're done with the song. I was thinking if you're not going to come back anytime soon, I'm going to play another one, but it's okay.
All right. So, just let me know if you can hear any types of background noise or if my voice isn't clear by any chance.
No,
I hope
yours
it's
is
pretty
actually pretty good.
awesome. So, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. So, we have 61 people right now with us. And so, talking about Siddharth Bendi. Siddharth Bendi is a singer songwriter based out of Mumbai, but he plays every Tuesday, right? Thursday.
Every Thursday at Bangalore, and I'm based out of Hyderabad actually, but it doesn't matter, dude. I'm based out of India more than anything. It's fine.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's start with the absolute basic. Taking, let's say, changing the career from an engineer, right? You were an engineer. You were studying
I,
engineering.
I was on the way to become one, and I chose not to be anymore. I
Yeah.
quit after second year. I didn't feel like I was made for that. I was already professionally playing music before even I started engineering. Right after 12th grade, I started playing shows. I was doing cover gigs in Hyderabad. I put out music when I was 18 on like online platforms and everything. And I had already put my foot into the music world before I even started engineering. And then engineering was just like a part of everything that was happening, but I wasn't really doing it seriously until it became so insignificant to me that just music took over entirely.
Got it. So, Siddharth, tell me this. The name of this, let's say, this event is music, the hustle you don't hear. So, definitely, you have hustled a lot, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, in the process of hustling, you would have definitely chosen that this is something that you want to do for the rest of your life, on top of anything else. Prioritizing this, let's say, being super strong at an early stage is something which is a dilemma for a ton of people. So
Yeah.
tell me something like, how did you make sure that, how did you come into a stance that this is what you want to do?
I think a lot of it comes down to, oh my God, I'm getting a call. Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to believing in your craft and believing in yourself. And I know that's a very superficial thought, and it doesn't solve an immediate problem to a lot of people. But it is just that sometimes, like a lot of people are talented. A lot of people are a lot of things that will make them great. But at the end of the day, they should be in a position to say that, okay, I can give up everything, do this, and I know I will figure it out, and they may not become like superstars, but they'll figure it out and they'll have a career in it, which does not actually have to be a superstardom phase. You can just have like a career in music and not be a superstar, and that's something I've also realized over time, and I feel like a lot of people do realize in the music world. So I feel like for me, it was just that when I put out the first album, when I put out my first bit of music, I started playing shows. I just believed that I can do this for the rest of my life. And I'm still figuring a lot out, but at the same time, I have figured out certain amount of things, and it's been okay.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So, okay, let's get a tricky question. Let's say if you're in a family gathering and let's say some random uncle who you don't know just walks up to
Mm.
you and asks, Siddharth, beta tum kya karte ho? What's your answer to that?
So I'm the kind of guy who like very proudly says musician. And I feel like I've learned over time, and by attending a lot of these family gatherings, by the way, I've learned over time that the way you say it and the confidence with which you say it, no matter how unconventional your career might be to the other person, the way you say it will make all the difference. If you are very confidently saying, yeah, I'm a musician, I just put out this album or something like that, then the other guy won't have enough room to sort of question what you're doing or how much you're doing. They'll just like say, okay, cool. And I've I've realized, in fact, I was having this conversation the other day with somebody else as well. It's just right now I say music. There was a point where I used to say, no, I'm going to college or something like that. I used to lie about things because it just gets awkward, and I don't want it to be a whole conversation. But over time, I've learned to just say musician really confidently, and whatever question comes my way, I just have an answer for it because I am doing it legitimately. I am really pleased to sort of be doing everything I'm doing. So I don't think that it should be a problem for somebody else.
Got it. So let's start with the beginning. So how and when did this start?
My mom sent me to Carnatic music classes when I was in first class, and that was like a joke. Really, like I had no interest whatsoever. I had no idea what I was doing back then, but that helped in laying a foundation of my voice generally. And I only in 2013, 2014 did I actually pick up the guitar and started listening to a lot of Ed Sheeran, a lot of like pop music, English music that inspired me a lot and sort of told me that, okay, fine, this is something I want to do. And then one thing led to another, and I just kept, started writing songs, started playing shows, started making videos, and the whole thing just became a career eventually. So it was a very step-by-step process, but the foundation was Carnatic music, and I still sort of want to do Carnatic music more seriously as much as I fail at it every single day.
So let's talk about it. I believe you are Ed Sheeran's one of the biggest fans, right?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. Looking at Ed Sheeran on one side, and on the other side, we see, let's say, the Carnatic music, the classical traditional side of it. Let's say that's on the west, and this is on the east. So, how do you see this variance as, let's say, the trends of it? How do you, as an artist, look at this variance?
I feel like it just gives me more room to explore the world of music. Like sometimes I just open my Shruti box, and that's a different world classically, and then I.
What is a Shruti box?
The Shruti box
Shruti.
is
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, a Shruti box is like basically just like a tonal instrument that lets you stay in tone when you're singing classical music. It's like a guide to staying in one key. So that is like the classical side of things. But at the same time, I'll open one guitar and I'll be like, oh my god, this is like the total opposite. But that lets me really just explore musically way more than I normally do. And I think if I was just a Western artist, that would be super limiting. If I was just a Carnatic or classical artist, that would be super limiting. I feel like I have the privilege of sort of knowing a little bit of both and mixing them together, and just creating my world of my personal world of music. So I really like that.
So what's that first song that you made with regards to this on this juncture between the West and the East?
You know, the first song I ever wrote was like a fusion thing. It's weird that you ask. I never thought of it like that. I wrote a song called One in a Million, which is a very cringe, cliche love song that I wrote in like 11th grade in chemistry class. And like lyrically, I'm not liking how that turned out at all. I mean, after all these years, but it is actually a fusion track. There is a bit of Carnatic towards the end of the track in the vocals, but again, it's a very guitar centric song. So I guess that's where you see like both the influences come in.
Got it, got it, got it. So let's talk about your journey. Just one second. Let's talk about your journey, where let's say you started making music. So there's this intrinsic fear that's, let's say, I haven't been getting enough attention, let's say, in the initial stages, because now you're pretty sorted, based upon the work that you've been doing, based upon the music that you've been creating. It's absolutely beautiful, and I'm one of your biggest fans. And I must say, out of 2021, you are one of my top 5 artists that I've been listening to, and I'm super
Thank
glad
you.
we got you on the show, and I'm glad
Thank
that I
you,
got to
dude.
host you.
Thank you.
So that's where we should start this, man. So what is that one advice that you would give people? Because let's say people with us today are all those people are in a dilemma to choose something that's unconventional, to choose that road that's not taken. So
Correct.
how would you analyze this situation?
It's a tricky thing to advise people. I'll tell you that. I've tried to do this like over the past 5 years. I've spoken to so many people who've asked similar questions. Um, it's sad because sometimes, no matter how perfectly the individual is putting in the effort and stuff like that, their background and their generally their own life doesn't let them go beyond certain points. Usually usually it comes down to either parents not supporting it or maybe funds not being available, or whatever resources not being available. And sometimes we see that the most talented, most deserving people don't actually get to do their full capacity of work, and that's sad. But at the same time, I have learned that these same people can at least come 20%, 30%, 40% into the world that they want to, um, despite all those shortcomings in their life, and still do what they like doing. And I feel like that would still be better than not doing what they like doing at all. So my advice would be to just go into whatever you want to do and do as much of it as possible and do every version of it possible, like the hunger that lets you say explore more or follow somebody on Instagram more or learn something else from YouTube, or the amount of time and energy that you spend on things you like, despite all the things that are not letting you do that, will define how capable you are to getting the final goal closer, or maybe even reaching the final goal eventually. And yeah, and I keep going back to that one thing that I said earlier as well, is that it comes down to belief also more than anything. I feel like the first thing is that we need to believe in what we are doing, and we need to believe that it is a viable career choice. It's going to make me money, it's going to keep the parents and the friends and all of those people happy, and myself included, obviously. And it's going to do like all the things that are actually real about life that are required. And I will still have the life in music or whatever that I want to have. So for me, initially when I started the whole music thing, I was like, oh God, cool. I'm going to make music for the rest of my life. I'm so sorted. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. But then as you keep growing up, I started realizing, okay, money is a major factor that we need to consider because it buys literally everything. And then I started considering, okay, how satisfied, okay, my parents eventually started believing in me and they are supporting me now. But like, how do you keep them happy as well? And how do you let them know that not only now, but even 10 years down the line, this is going to be a viable career choice? So that is, once you start thinking about it, you will solve it. And then there is like another tangent to how do I sort of keep buying the gear I want, but at the same time keep growing in life and make investments and make like the more real money spendings and not just constantly keep spending all the money I make on music and never have money at hand. Like, how do I become smart financially is another thing that came into my mind recently, and that's something I'm working on. So like, I feel like you just have to believe in yourself and sort of work on each and every tangent, and eventually some percentage of it will happen. And maybe you won't be fully satisfied, but it's better than not being it's better than regretting not doing it at all.
Correct. So that, so as you mentioned, making money and then managing it is a big game. So talking about that, a lot of people complain in the initial stages that they have not got a lot of funds to work with, let's say a studio, a mic, or let's say the props that are required. So what is your take about that? I know that you hustle really hard, more than 150 shows in 1 year alone, right?
Yeah, and literally the sole purpose of that 150, 180 shows that I did in 2017 was to make money and buy all the things that I wanted musically. And trust me, I have made that money, I have bought the things, and I have never stopped. I have made more, bought more, made more, bought more. It will never stop. And it is like that for not just me, but anybody, and not just this career, but any career. Especially creatively, it gets creative careers get super expensive, but even any other career as well, you just constantly need some sort of investment or some sort of like, money coming in, and that's a huge thing. And I'm literally just figuring it out, bro. Like, I don't think I've been the wisest with money. I don't think I'm the correct guy to ask about money. But I can very safely say that at least 80% of all the money that I've ever made has gone into things that I have used and have bettered my music making process or my music career in some or the other way. But
so polishing the output.
Sorry?
All the investments that you're talking about is just to polish the output. Let's say how to make the work better, right?
Polish the output and also improve my brand and improve my content. Like over the past couple of years, but the major focus has been to visually improve my content, and that has been like a major, help as well. Like a lot of people have been very. Have been saying nice things about how things are presented on my social media and on my content, which is something I've put major effort into, which I think is not the most important thing for musicians, but I tend to care about it. So I've had to buy cameras, I had to buy lights and all those things that are not really musical items, but then you have to buy them after a point so to sort of make your content better. So I've just been making investments like that, wherein something or the other has always helped me grow my career. And I've always sort of thought about how the investments I make will make me more money. So if I bought a guitar that is costing 50,000 rupees, then I should get enough shows where I play that guitar that should make me 5 lakhs. Like I'm just throwing out numbers here. I don't know like the percentages, but then it should be like that. So I've always tried to think like that. A lot of times I have failed. Like I have made investments which I haven't used to the fullest extent and they're just lying around. Sometimes I got the wrong things, or it often happens that I buy something that I need or I think I need, and then I buy like a 10,000 rupee version of it, but then there'll be a 30,000 rupee version that will last forever. But I will be like, no, that's 30,000. I won't buy it. But again, this 10,000 version will like stop working in 6 months, and I'll end up buying the 30,000 version anyway. So those sort of things happen a lot to me. So it's a heavy scene, bro. Like this money thing is something I've constantly not struggled with, but I'm constantly figuring out. But these days I've sort of really started saving up and putting it in different places, not just music. And the past 6 months only I've started practicing some investment ideas and stuff like that, which I don't know what I'm doing with, honestly. I'm just trying to figure it out as I go, but I think that's also important as a young individual.
Got it. So, okay, let me ask this question. Let's say out of 60 people, out of the people that we have right now, more than half of them would be in engineering, as expected. And out of that, there would be a way to figure out something new for them. So, one probable question is, how were you able to, let's say, convince your parents? Like, that is super spotlighted question. How would you answer that?
Honestly, I just did what I had to, and it convinced them. And I know that doesn't answer the question really well, but honestly, that really just is just what happened to me. So right after 12th, I started getting opportunities to play at like very small places, which my parents were not really happy about. They were like, why do you need to do this for 3,000 rupees, for 4,000 rupees, playing 2 hours or 3 hours of music? Why do you need to do this? Do you think we like, and my parents would say, I would give you that money. Like, why are you doing? And I told them, it's not about the money. It's about me being on stage as much as possible and learning about the experiences that, happen there. And like, just being out there as a musician is what I need to do. And they didn't understand it, but fortunately they let me do it anyway. And I think that's the biggest blessing that I am super grateful for, that my parents, they sort of didn't believe it, but they also didn't say no. Very firmly, they didn't say no. So I got to do it anyway. And as and when I did it, obviously I did it in a way that I had to constantly prove to them. Like, it was a daily thought for me that, okay, I know I'm doing this, but this is not enough. I need to do more to prove to them that this is working. So I just tried to keep doing more and more and more and more and more and more. And I also had this NGO. I'm running an NGO called the Beautiful World Movement in Hyderabad, and that is also like a well-known, a little bit well-known in like the student community in Hyderabad. So that NGO also started doing well, and that gave my parents more of a reason to believe in the fact that not only am I just focusing on the music and stuff like that, I'm generally eager to work in life. Like, I'm not going to sit idle. And I feel like that helped them a lot to sort of believe in me, is to understand that, okay, no matter what he does, he's always working. Like, he's always doing something with his time, which is much better than sending me to any college and putting me through the stress of the backlogs and the exams and the assignments and the attendance. And by the end of the day, just come home and sleep and do the same thing again and again and do that for 4 years and then send me to some masters in some other country just because that's the cool thing to do. And then I come back and get a corporate job, and that's also a cool thing to do. But at the same time, they saw that I'm working anyway. It's not like I need that experience of a college and a traditional approach to a corporate career or something like that. I'm not saying that's wrong at all. Like, I have friends, all of them are in the corporate zone and they're like really happy, and some of them are not. Some of them are trying to figure out other business and stuff like that. It's all a journey. But for me, I think as and when my parents saw that, okay, I'm always willing to work and I'm always willing to do one better, and I'm always getting better. They know that I'm not happy with how I am, and they know I'm trying to get better. And I feel like that helped them believe in me eventually. And also, obviously, minor achievements here and there that were substantial made them believe that, okay, fine, this is working in some or the other way. Like playing a festival, for example, for like 1,000 people or something like that. Those shows, they would like, I'd get them to those shows and they would watch me play live, and they'd feel really proud about that. So I feel like that just, over time helped them understand that this is something that I could do.
Got it. Okay, so let's talk about the community and culture, because let's say, so let's talk about the Hyderabad's local community and your circles. There are a lot of influencer, let's say not influencer, the creator side of friends, right? So do you think these bunch of people that you constantly hang out with, definitely who supports you all the time, would these people make that significant difference? And also adding on to that, Under 25 Summit is something that you've played, right? So talking about Under 25's community, what do you see the connection between Under 25 and the, let's say, supportive communities? Like, what is that traditional shift that's happening?
So it is the biggest thing happening in our country right now. And I know there are some skeptics also of this whole community building, culture building thing. a lot of people I met and have conversations with about this have not shown interest in the fact that it can be viable. But I actually feel like collaboration and community is the future of how we create. And the more people we hang out with, the more people will constantly support and get support from. And the larger our ecosystem is, the more successful our career is. Like literally, it is not even something that is visible or something. It's actually a better career when your ecosystem is larger. And I've seen that happen with so many of my friends who've blown up in the last couple of years. Like they'd be on the same 1,000 followers that I was in, but now they're all like verified on Instagram and stuff like that. But I know why they got to that stage is because their collaboration, their community building processes, not only offline but on Instagram mostly, the way they interact with not only their audience but other creators, and the way they respond to other creators' ideas and always say yes, has always been a seismic thing for creators right now. And I feel like, and I'm also doing it in certain ways, but I keep my communications very sort of restricted in terms of like I have like I have a tough time getting out of my style, and that keeps me restricted in terms of reaching out to more and more people. But I'm okay with that. Like I do that consciously, so it's fine. But the community building aspect of it is the biggest thing right now. I think that under 25 is doing a great job in building community and culture. The way they bring excitement into like a daily student culture activity is something that's I think is really commendable.
Beautiful, man. So talking about, yeah, on the lines of what you just said, community and let's say the bonding that we've been looking at is going to be is probably going to be the next big thing for content creators and let's say every single person who is looking in the space of building their own brand. So in the space, let's say we see the big musicians, let's say anyone making a lot of let's say they're getting into the space of NFTs and decentralization, the way they're cutting the middleman. Similarly, to tackle that, we see Instagram getting into the space of paid subscriptions
Yeah.
in terms of, yeah. So, don't you see that? I mean, what do you think about this spotlight on content creation and specialization?
See, I don't think if these iterations will work or not in the larger scale, in the global scale, but I know that they're beginning to work in some capacity, and I know that there is a future there. The reason why I say these iterations may not work is because these are still relatively new ideas in the grand scale of things, and
Exactly.
they need some refinement. They need some generations to execute the whole process and retire, and then give the younger generation more options and more ideas. And I feel like we are one of the first or second wave of the people who are experiencing this independent creator culture. It has already existed in world in the other world countries, like not in India, but like in India, it's coming together, and it's coming together really well, I think. But I do think it is a generational thing, and maybe our generation is not going to have the best version of it, but we are lucky to be in a place where it is existing. Because 10 years ago, if I told somebody that I could be selling my own music and make money out of it, they would not be convinced that it is possible even. But with Spotify in India now, which just happened, like we don't appreciate like streaming services enough, because obviously they don't pay enough to the artists that are on the platforms. But what they have done though is insane. Like yeah,
They included the idea of, let's say, music.
Yeah, if for music, if you think about it, like Spotify has done the most amazing thing. They let you put not just but any of these streaming platforms, they let you put your music by yourself on them, make money through it. Of course, you need to work a lot more to get your music out there and get the money out of it, but you're still making some money, and it's all in your control. And the control aspect of it is what is the most exciting to me. In fact, I recently did a show called the Bendi Experience in Hyderabad. It was a completely self-organized effort where I called the venue myself, I rented the sound up myself, and I got my photographer, I got my team to do all the marketing. I sold my tickets through my Instagram strictly, just by selling it through WhatsApp, Instagram, my personal contacts and their friends and stuff like that. My goal was to sell at about 70, 80, but I was fortunate enough to sell like 150 tickets, and all of them costed like $300. And transparently, how does that make you? Like, how much does that make you? It makes you 300 into 150. It's like around 45,000 rupees, all of which came into my pocket, which was the most amazing thing, because ideally for a solo act who plays only original music, which is what I played that day, for 1.5 hours, I would get paid for the same show in the same venue if the venue called me, maybe 5,000 rupees, and I would play for an audience of maybe 40 people who would pay a lot, but then because of the cuts going to the venue, going to the middlemen, the organizer, this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, I would end up with 5,000 rupees. So I'm just talking about how the difference between 45,000 rupees and 5,000 rupees can be so drastically different for me. And now I'm talking about a future where if things work out and my music reaches way more people and I'm able to do the same show on a different scale more frequently, let's say once a month, okay, making 50K a month just by doing one show is like a dream come true to anybody who made music 10 years ago, and is like the goal for anybody making music now, which is me. So and this is the power of being independent for me. And I feel like, and this is the most transparent I've been like about this. And I think it's important also for creators to understand the strength of being independent and working by themselves. Obviously it takes a lot of infrastructural effort that a lot of artists don't want to put. I am very big on putting in that effort. I'm very big on event management and all of that stuff, because I do that with the NGO as well. But just imagine, even if somebody did like a small version of this and made 20,000 instead of 40,000, that is still a lot of money. So yeah, I feel like that every creator in every way should focus on this.
Definitely, man. Yeah. So the numbers that you mentioned, that drastic difference is like really, really, really big.
Exactly. And I feel like the artist is the most powerful element in this whole chain, but unfortunately he's the least valuable in terms of financial stability, and that can change so easily if all the artists just made up their mind and did it in one way. And obviously that's the most difficult part, because some people's requirements are different. Like for me, for example, I don't have rent to pay. I live with my parents, but somebody has rent to pay for his, I don't know, 4-member family, and he's a little more desperate than I am. And I know that that's where the problem is, and I know that's where we can't reach the goal collectively as one artist community, but we can reach a version of it that is still like 50% there. And I'm heading towards that. I'm constantly encouraging artists to talk about being like that.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, we've reached to that last segment of this conversation. So I want you to tell me like what's right now going in your mind. Like, kya chal raha hai?
Right now, somebody said Atmanirbhar. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Right now, I am actually building a business. Like I said, I want to have long-term financial stability, and that is what I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build passive income through musical investments only. Nothing too drastically different than what I already do, but I'm investing in spaces. It's more of a studio space and jam space that I'm creating, where people can rent it out, and all the equipment that I've invested in on all these years can be used in that same space. But it's not been structured like that so far. But now I'm trying to structure it in a way that anybody can rent out these services and use them. And I'm trying to build a creative team that can help them make their music, their visuals, and basically building artist profiles and artist content and stuff like that, and charging for it. And renting out the space is the main thing. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to establish that as soon as possible, so that I'll always make some amount of money from that. And of course, there's also my music that I'm constantly working on. I have a lot of releases coming out this year. Looking forward to doing that. And there is a slight possibility that I might actually go do a quick music technology course in Boston. It's a university called Berkeley University of Music. And it's always been like a dream of mine not to learn in a music school, but to experience the idea of a music school, because every single person in your near 5 kilometer vicinity is probably a musician. And that is the most exciting thing to me as an individual. So I've always wanted to have that experience, and I've been saving up for that experience for a long time, and I sort of have the money for it now. So I'm trying to see if that's possible. So if that course is possible, then I'm really excited to, meet musicians from across the world in that course, and just further my career in some or the other way in terms of network and stuff like that. So this is all that's happening in my mind, and also tomorrow's show in RCV that I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely, man. I mean, Berkeley School of Music. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
let's say you said like we're gonna look at like multiple songs that we're gonna release this year, right? How many
Yeah.
are we looking at? By any chance, can you tell the number?
I really hope 8 new
Okay.
songs, which is quite a bit. I've never released 8 songs in 1 year. But it could be lesser. I don't know. If I go and do the course, I might not be able to finish that much work in 1 year.
Okay.
But I have a song coming out next month, though. That's for sure. Like, that's happening no matter what. And I have a song. I have 3 to 4 songs coming for sure. The other 3 to 4 we'll see.
Understood, Siddharth. So, Siddharth, we've reached to that, like, let's say, last 10 minutes of the session. So, what do you want to do? What is that special thing that you want to talk about, or you want to play, or you sing? Anything. What is that one thing that, like, blows your mind?
I actually think that the music, I mean, we will do one song towards the end, but I feel like the music isn't going to be clear enough. So I feel like it's better we talk, and I don't know, ask the audience, what do you guys want to listen to, guys? Like, do you want me to talk about anything specific? Anything about the creator community is my thing, so I can talk about that. Anything about music I can talk about. So yeah, just let me know. Or if you want me to sing, I can sing, but I'm afraid that it won't be the best quality. If you don't mind that, I'm cool. Let me know. Please keep the chat active and let us know.
Guys, you can message on the chat so that, I mean, the decision is yours. So yeah, you want him to sing? Press 1. If you want him to, let's say, if you want us to continue the conversation, press 2. What do you want to do?
1 or 2. We're counting.
Okay, I've been getting personal messages. So yeah, several people are typing. I want several people to. Okay.
Let's see. I mean, I'm going to sing anyway. Like, I will do a song for sure towards the end. Or we can do 10 minutes of straight up music. I don't mind anything. All right. What was one again? One was chat, right?
Yeah, but one was no. One was music. Number 2 was let's say the discussion.
Great. Then everybody wants me to sing. Let's sing.
Yeah. Go for it, Siddharth.
All right, guys. I'm going to sing a song that I wrote. It released last year. I think Chandan likes it quite a bit. It's a song called Newness.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. It has its own journey. It's been quite a journey with this song. It's out on Spotify. It's gained about 11,000 streams now. And I'm releasing a new remix of the song, celebrating 1 year of the song on April 30th. So please listen to it if you can and help me with the streams. That's what it's all about. All right. Can you hear the guitar?
It's breaking a little.
I think this guitar breaking will happen, I think, dude. I don't know what to do about it.
Okay. No, it generally happens when the noise separation is turned on.
It's off. It's off for sure.
Okay, perfect. Let's get started.
I don't know what else I can do to make it better.
Okay.
Okay, how about now? Is it a little better at least?
I think keep playing, keep playing. Nope, same.
Okay, then I don't know. Is my voice
Would
clear
you-
at least?
Yeah, your voice is like pure, super clear.
No, I don't know why it isn't catching the guitar though.
Okay. So, would you want to do pure vocals?
Nah, I can't do that. I have to play the guitar for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just try it. Let's see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then we'll just like continue the chat and end it with the chat itself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Cool. This is Newness from Nothing. It's a single. Hope you like it. 1, 2, 3, go. I forgot feeling like a mess. I just want to go back to my bed. Every day I make excuses. Today I feel a little different, 'cause it's you on my mind. It's only been a week and a half, but I'm so used to you. And I just wanna go and sit back, yeah, 'cause it's all so true that I'm not used to newness, clueless. I just wanna shut up and say less. This time I cannot be careless. This isn't touch and go. I'm not used to newness, clueless. I just wanna shut up and say less. Now you should know that maybe this isn't touch and go, touch and go. No, 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 no. It's only been a week and a half, but I'm so used to you. Say I gotta say everything I think, but I don't think I'd say that much. But I've been fed lies before, and I made the same mistake. But I've not been in love before. Mm-hmm. But it's also true that I'm not used to newness. I'm clueless. I just wanna shut up and say less. This time I cannot be careless, 'cause this isn't touch and go. I'm not used to newness, clueless. I just wanna shut up and say less. Thought you should know that maybe this isn't touch and go. I'm not used to newness, clueless. I just wanna shut up and say less. This time I cannot be careless. This isn't touch and go. I'm not used to newness. I'm clueless. I just wanna shut up and say less. I just wanna shut up and say less. I just wanna shut up and say I'm not used to newness. I'm clueless. I just wanna shut up and say less. I just wanna shut up and say less. I just wanna shut up and say less.
And I just want to shut up and say nothing. That was up.
Thank you.
So that people are asking for your portfolio. Would you wanna drop your social media handles, or let's say music, let's say Spotify links or anything on the
I
chat?
will just put my link tree on
Perfect.
here, and it'll have everything.
Okay. One
Yeah.
last question before we end. I've been getting personal DMs to ask Siddharth how to get the twisting happening. Let's say one after the other. How to get the consistency thing going? How to get more shows possible? How to get into under 25?
Okay. Wow, that's a okay. That question never has a fixed answer, and it's almost never the same reason why everybody who gets the shows. It's all for different reasons, always. For me, it's been that I have put my foot into as many things as possible. So for me, it's been video. I've actively tried to build culture with an initiative called Creators Exchange. I have this NGO that I very seriously run called the Beautiful World Movement. And I make music, obviously. I put that out. And I've done a show every time I got to do a show, and I never said no to it. And all the money that I made, I always put back into the career as well. So because I put my foot into so many places and I'm constantly saying yes to so many things, it always leads to more and more opportunities. And first, it's very, very small opportunities that you won't like to take, and you will feel like they're insignificant. But then I started realizing that the more less significant opportunities are the ones that lead to the bigger ones. So you have to kind of say yes to everything, and always be smart about where you place yourself, and be very conscious about being at the right place at the right time. I feel like that's super important. Like, for example, this under 25 thing, I was associated with an organization called Tree Huggers Club in Hyderabad, and I did an open mic over there. I didn't get paid for it. I didn't go there. I went there on my own expense in a cab and took my own guitar and my amp and all of those things and struggled to play that show. It was the worst. Like, the open stage was like a big disaster. But the Tree Huggers Club is a very, very nice community in Hyderabad, and they were really kind to me from the beginning, and they sort of called me to another show where, again, I played for free. I didn't take any money, but they were like, you play what you want, play your own music. And at that time, playing my own music was a big deal to me, so I started doing that. And then one guy at Tree Huggers Club, he was a visitor at Tree Huggers Club gigs, and he saw some potential in me, and he suggested that the under 25 community, which he knew really well, took me on as a performer in Hyderabad. So they were like, okay, cool, we'll check him out. And under 25 checked me out, and they were like, hey, we like your stuff. We want to do this very small thing in Hyderabad. And I was like, okay, cool. And I didn't get paid for that also, mind you, like nothing, zero. And I went on my own expense with the cabs and everything. But I asked them if I can put up a stall for my NGO's merchandise. So they let me do that. They were kind enough to do that. So we put up a stall. And at that stall, after my performance, I stood there and spoke to everybody that came to the summit. That's like 500 people. And that was really helpful. Some of those people have now become like really big creators and influencers who I'm friends with. And that sort of led to whole new relationships. And the performance that I did at that under 25 Hyderabad, they were impressed with it so much. They were like, dude, you need to come to Bangalore and do this. And I went immediately the next month to Bangalore, and I did my first ever Bangalore show, and it was an under 25 summit for like 6,000 people. And honestly, I messed up that show. I didn't do the greatest job at that show. It was okay, but I put my foot into Bangalore through that, and then I made friends with under 25 people. I was just being kind the whole time. I feel like it always comes down to being kind to people. That is definitely one thing that you have to be. So I was that, and then under 25 just never stopped calling me after that. They just like, we became friends, and we like hanging out with each other, and they just call me whenever they can, and I go and do stuff, not only in Bangalore, but through under 25 I've been in Orissa, I've been in Manipal now, I've been to Mumbai, and multiple Bangalore and Hyderabad gigs through under 25, and I made so many friends, like actual friends that I share life with at this point through under 25, that it just became a huge thing. So you see how that journey happened. Such a small open mic in Hyderabad, but eventually led to like the biggest community that I know and I'm proud to be a part of. So it's like that journey is what everybody needs to go through. I feel like just do as much as possible, be at the right place at the right time, talk to the right people at the right time, just do as much of it as possible, and eventually something has to click. If you're doing the right thing, there's no reason for it not to click.
Beautiful, Bendy. I mean, the chain reaction was really, really, really good. I mean,
believe in the chain. Like there is nothing more I can say. Believe in the chain reaction. It is the strongest, most human thing to happen, and it is so real.
Got it. I love this conversation, Siddharth. Like every single time we have a conversation, I just get like super motivated. I don't know why, but it just makes me feel nice.
And it's
just
a shame we haven't met. It's a shame we haven't met. You need to come to RCB tomorrow, bro. I need to see you. I need to put a picture with you.
Sure. I'll be there.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Siddharth Bendi, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. And that's Siddharth. And I believe you loved, I personally enjoyed the conversation. And so, yeah, Siddharth, what would you say? Like, did you like the conversation?
I loved it, dude.
What do you,
I actually a lot of times I love talking, but I don't get to because I'm on stage to sing actually. But every time I get to talk, I love it, and I love that you're always getting in touch with me for a talk instead of like a performance. So I really love it. Thank you so much.
glad, man. So, yes, that is it for today. That is Siddharth Bendi.